Hey there, welcome back. My name is Brighton, and I'm here with another midweek with Pastor Rob. Thanks for being here with us again.
Yep.
He gave this past Sunday's sermon titled, What's the Point? Great sermon title from Ephesians 3, verses 14 through 21. And so I'm actually going to start at the end, your ending point.
All right.
One of the things that you said was that our theology should lead to doxology.
Right.
And you said that you got this from college and it's kind of some wordy words.
Yeah. The whole idea, because my professor said it and I was like, I'm not that smart. So I was like, can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah.
And he was saying that who we have experienced God to be, who we know him to be through how we read our Bible, how we interact with him through prayer, just experiences that we've had with him in our life, should lead us to a point where we're always in a posture of worship. Not just that we worship Sunday mornings for 3 hours or do whatever, but that our entire life posture is one of worship. And so when we're in good times, we're worshiping God. When we're in bad times, we're worshiping God. And it kind of leads to the whole idea of what he gives you when you accept him as your Lord and Savior, like the inward power and the inward presence and the inward perception and the inward provision. The perception that he gives us to always know like he's at work, and we can sort of see God at work in differing times. And so that's kind of, I love the idea of that. And as I was talking with Hunter in my office, it came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this for a while. But,
yeah, very good. That it's worship. We come to a worship service on Sunday, like you said, but worship is also something that we do outside of the church building in our Monday through Saturday lifestyle as well.
Right. Just like you can know a whole lot of things about the Bible and you can actually not do what it teaches.
Yes, right.
You can do the same thing with worship. We know what worship looks like and we know how different postures, but unless we're like engaging in it, and it takes foresight, and it takes like intentional work to always be in a posture of worship. Yeah. And so.
Yeah, and that's difficult. Honestly, it's really difficult to constantly have that posture.
Right.
So what you mentioned, the 4 building blocks of abundance.
Yeah.
So do any of those really, I mean, they all do, but any particular one that could help us really tune in to that posture of worship in our daily life?
I think the 2 that come to mind are just the perception and the provision. Okay. Right? To always be aware of what God's doing. It's kind of goes to what the Black Bees did, right? Where they say, see where God's at work and then join in on that work. When you're thinking about God giving us like a supernatural perception of kind of things that are blessing us in our life, things that we need to lean into, and then things in our life that we need to kind of fix and shade away from. Yeah. The inward perception, I think, can lead you to worship, because all the issues that you're going through on a day in, day out basis, the stresses of life, the relational commitments that you have, all those things, God kind of gives you this supernatural ability to see how he's going to use it, or maybe he's not going to give you that, but he does say, if you don't understand why something's happening, ask him. That's what James says. Yeah. And so we can go to him and he's going to give us kind of this whole perception. That's why I was talking about Sanford Yoder, because who knows why he's suffering what he suffered. Right. But if you talk to him, I'm sure he's not even thinking about it as suffering. Like he sees it as God giving him this huge ability to go and impact other people's lives. Yeah. And then that allows you to see how God's providing for you, the inward provision, because God's going to give us everything that we need. Not that we want, but everything that we need in order to accomplish his mission for us.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that if our view on God's ability to be with us in his presence and also to provide for us, that definitely could have an impact on if we're in a posture of worship or not. Because if we rely on ourselves to be able to do the things that we want, and we're not looking to God to provide, or even think that he is capable of providing more than we can even think or imagine, then why would we go to God for him as a provider?
100%. It's the idea of, I said, what keeps us from it is pride. The idea of putting yourself second and realizing kind of your own your own inability to get everything that we need.
Yeah, or limitedness.
Right. That's it. Yeah. And I love Paul's way of putting it. Like, God can do immeasurably more than all we ask, but even than we can imagine. Because I can imagine for a whole lot of stuff.
Right, yeah.
But God can do so much more than that.
Yeah.
So
we are pretty creative humans that God created us to be, but then to even think that God, as the creator, how much more he is able to even envision for our lives.
Yep. And how he'll take different experiences that I've had and trials and tribulations that I've had, and then he'll use it in someone else's life to bless them and to encourage them and to like help them move past certain situations. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah. That's very encouraging.
Yeah.
Thanks for digging in with that with us. Hopefully you were encouraged as well. And hopefully we will see you next time. Have a great week.
Have a good one.